Thanks for that, Paddy. I'll try and keep it not as long as short a while as possible. I was told that a good speech is like a mini skirt, long enough to cover the essentials, but short enough to keep it interesting. So here goes. I want to try and get the important stuff out of the way first. So would you give me great pleasure to ask you to raise a toast for some of the most important people in the room tonight, without which today would not be the same. So if everybody would raise their glasses and a toast, please, to the bar staff. Now, it's also my duty to ensure that other people are thanked. And there are some other people in the room which, quite frankly, haven't really done much. They've stood around, looked pretty, posing for photographs. But it is worth saying that they have put a lot of work into their hair, their makeup and their outfits, and without which the day would not be complete. So could I have a big round of applause for the groomsmen, Pat and Noel. On a more serious note, I'd like to thank Derek for his kind words for the bride. I'll start again. I'd like to thank Derek for his kind words about the bridesmaids. I'd also like to thank Aisling, Bridget and Sinead for a fantastic... Sorry, Ailish. At least I got Sinead right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would also like to thank Ailish, Sinead and Bridget for looking fantastic throughout the day and performing their duties outstandingly. It can't have been easy dragging Niamh out to the church, especially considering you knew what the outcome would be. This is the first time I've been asked to be best man, have you guessed? This is my first time in Dromona Castle, and this is the first time Derek's actually admitted that I'm the best man. But best of all, it's the first time Derek's actually paid for dinner. Unfortunately, he did tell me due to recession he's only paying for the top table. So, what can I say about a man who came from humble beginnings and quickly risen to the very top of his profession, based solely on grit, determination and willpower to push on where other people might fail. A man who has distinguished himself amongst his peers and where no one can say a bad word against him. But I'm not here to talk about me, I'm here to talk about Derek. So, Derek... more commonly known to his friends as Del, was born at a very early age, on the 26th of February 1974, and was about the size of a small baby. Del was born on the same day as nobody particularly famous, and the Bay City Rollers had the #1 song. I think Derek still has his tartan baby grow. It's also tradition to talk about the best man's past, the groom's past. All I can say about Derek is all his jobs seem to revolve around food and drink. Which is fortunate for Derek, considering they're two of his big passions in life. I think today we realise that, Niamh has become his #1 passion. Speaking of food, I do remember a time we went to Pizza Hut, and the waiter asked Derek, would you like your pizza cut into 4 or 8 slices? Derek says, you better make it 8, I'm starving. No. Derek, when he was younger, wasn't as bright as he is now. I know when he started school, he may have been bigger than all the other 5-year-olds, but that was because he was 12. But speaking of the drink element of it, I ought to ask everybody to keep an eye on Derek tonight. He has a habit of nodding off when he's had a few drinks. So if anybody does feel the urge to buy Derek a drink, you can buy the best man or the groomsman one instead. I do remember, though, one of the first occasions when we were younger, when Derek did indeed fall asleep, standing up, pint in hand. Amazed at his feat of drinking prowess, he soon got a crowd gathered around him, and we were all placing bets on when he'd drop the pint and come smashing to the floor. To Derek's credit, it never happened. As I think somebody in the crowd said, "Are you having something to drink?" And Derek woke up and says, "I'll have a Guinness." That was the day we started calling Derek Sleeping Beauty. Now, I know the father spoke a little bit about the story of how Derek and Niamh met, but I wanted to talk about the night in the Sin Bin Bar and Disco, the juicy bits. I want to try and find out what happened, the night in the Sin Bin Bar and Disco, where all the magic started. Although I wasn't there that night, I do remember Derek ringing me on his way home, and the conversation went something like this. "How are you, Derek? Good weekend?" "Yeah, great." I says, "Oh, I knew something was up." I says, "Anything exciting happened, Did you snag anyone?" "Yeah." So this is as bad as pulling teeth and having a conversation with him on the phone. And I says, "Anyone I know, Derek?" As if I didn't know the answer already. "Yeah." So I actually had to ask him who. "Yeah, Niamh." So at this stage I wanted all the gossip. So I turned around and I said, "Oh, Derek, tell us what happened, Did he give her a peck on the cheek? Did he find out if she had garlic for dinner? All the juicy bits." And all Derek said was, "Yeah, Niamh's really nice. I had a great weekend." So I had a feeling on that day that we could be standing here today. Now, not getting much information from Derek, I decided to ask Niamh. Now, in Niamh's story, they were out for a quiet drink. I'm beginning to think it's a bit of a fairy tale. So during the evening, Derek gently held her hands and told her of his undying affection before he grabbed her for a passionate embrace and their first kiss. So now I knew it was a fairy tale. But I do believe I found out what really happened, and it wasn't a quiet drink. Niamh had already had the girly chat with Bridget, so they were waiting for Derek to make his move. And then it happened. Sleeping Beauty's eyes here began to droop. His head leaned forward into the nodding off position. Niamh thought this was it and went in for the kill. I assure you Derek didn't go back asleep that night in the sin bin, full of beans.